Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Gemini. And our card tonight is the Princess or the Page of Wands. And this is from Tarot of the Abyss. Been using that deck for a while for my bonuses. I might switch it up soon. But then I'd have to pick one, so it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to, I really love something and I stick with it, you know? All right, so let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Ooh, this one says K-E-Y. Excuse me. I've been outside today. I'm getting some allergy coughs, I think. Fingers crossed. It's allergies. But yes, I wanted to say key. So a key to something, right? There's some kind of key in here. We have the Ankh right here. And we have, oh yeah. So the Ankh, to me, I always think this is like the symbol of ultimate life, ultimate reality. Okay, beyond all of the, diagrams and systems and hierarchies and, whatever things, the concepts and philosophies and things that we apply to existence, there is the ultimate reality, which I have no idea what that is or what that means exactly. But I know that the Ankh, in my mind, that is its own, that's the key to that place. And so I look at this and I do feel like there is a sense of you really being quite interested in the beyond here, right? What is going on beyond all of this? This isn't even necessarily like a metaphysical question. Maybe, yeah. But not so much. I don't think of this as like an existential crisis or dread or even looking for some kind of answer, because I feel like in a way, that there's no way to know, there's no empirical truth that anybody could tell you. That, as Terence McKenna would say, is an agreed upon hallucination. But I do think that, you are at the core of things. This is a motivator for you to get to that, maybe next part of consciousness, or have little fragments of it throughout your life, through your waking experience. So I could see you as kind of, I don't know, maybe like a psychonaut. Maybe somebody who's deeply into meditation, creative landscapes, worlds. Maybe you get really immersed into books or literature. It's some, literature, manga. I'm saying that for myself. Maybe religion, philosophies, video games, sub-realities, these musings about life, existence, the many worlds that are created in every moment. You know, I think you're drawn to this kind of a traveler, a voyager, a explorer of the great unknown. And I keep looking at these. We have a little elephant here with its, I was gonna say, is it trunk, right? Yes, trunk. I was gonna say it's hose. It always reminds me of a hose. And then we have a large one here. So it kind of feels like we have like mama and baby. And the other thing I want to say before I forget, it looks like we have some like riding a bull, a person riding a bull here. The bull being here, or the horse being here, and the person riding being right there. Okay, we'll come back to that. First, I want to look at these elephants. So the elephant with the trunk up like that is a sign of prosperity, of happiness, of good fortune. Now we have this for mama and baby. So I wonder if within your family, you know, you and your child are really doing well. You know, maybe this is an adult child, maybe this is a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, somebody who you have kind of become chosen family for and helped take care of and raise, or, you know, whatever it is. I feel though that there is a bond here that is very kind of parental and child. But I see that you're coming into this place where I do feel that there is some financial prosperity occurring, and this is most welcome, of course. So you know, I feel, and I'm looking at all these kind of, it looks like flowers, you know, but they look like they're kind of at the feet of this elephant. And I feel like there's this sense of where you have been, and there's that, you know, trying to stay on the horse, trying to stay on the bull there. You know, it is trying to buck you off, and you have really held on tight and done the work, really focused on making sure that you didn't fall short. You know, tried to strive for perfection in these endeavors. And I feel like all of this is coming together, and it is this sense of a you know, a massive bloom within your within the financial and career, work, business sector of your life. Now, I wonder if this is maybe a business that you have or your family has, because the child here is doing well too. And I feel that there is a connection that has grown of this collaboration, or at least, you know, you are succeeding parallel to one another. But I feel like, you know, that saying, like, being thick as thieves, I feel like you and this child of your life, maybe I feel like they're maybe older, right? They're not a tiny kid anymore. But I feel like you're inseparable. You know, you really feed off of each other's energy, but not in a way that's like vampiric or, you know, stifling to either of you. I think you really keep each other motivated. This is kind of your, like, you know, check-in person. You keep each other accountable and striving for greater things. So, you know, I really feel that this is a wonderful time, because, you know, you both have really been working so hard at whatever it is that you do. And I absolutely you know, I feel like the bond grows, you know, as, you know, you kind of come up at the same time. So it does make me wonder if you work together or if you like run a business together. Maybe you have a family channel going, which, you know, I shout out to that, you know. If you know my channel or my husband's channel, Dove and Serpent Tarot, my husband's name is Paul, I would recommend, you know, doing this kind of creative work with somebody you love. You know, it's not always easy. If you've ever worked with your family members or your spouse or kids or, you know, whatever, you know, it's not always the easiest thing, but it is rewarding. It definitely is. So, let's see, what else do we have? We have a person here, and it looks like they are holding on to a child, but the child looks like I keep thinking this is like a little puppy. So I think this even is maybe literal. It is, I wonder if you have a dog that, I almost wonder if if you've lost a dog, a companion, a beloved family member, in the last few years. And I feel like this is, it feels like with old age, probably. Or, you know, they got sick as they got older. But you have refrained from having any animals, or if you have had animals since this beloved, you know, dog that you had for years, I imagine. I mean, the bond feels like they are a part of you. I mean, it really does. If you've had other animals, they feel like you just haven't related to them on that soul level. It will, you know, it doesn't feel like the same thing. But I feel like there's another animal coming into your life here. And I feel like this is going to be a beloved for you. No question. Now, of course, this doesn't take the place of anybody. It never will. But it's different. It's a different love, and it feels different. And you have your own relationship with them. So I feel like this is going to be something that you feel a little bit resistant about, but as you kind of get to know each other, and it feels again like there's a closeness here. And it's interesting to me that you really feel like a person that you have the ability to be very close with people. I feel like there's like, it's not that there's not boundaries, but I feel like there are these certain people in your life, and you get so very kind of woven into each other. And I feel like you're very good to your people. And there's like an undying loyalty, a union in this love. And it's a rare thing that somebody has that with multiple people. A lot of us are just trying to do that with like one person, two people, you know. But I think you just have this ability to connect. Now, that's not to say that you have a ton of close relationship. I don't think that you're somebody that just like lets anybody in. You're very choosy. But when they get past that, you know, that gateway with you, you absolutely are so devoted. And then I see this companion here, and I think, yeah, this is going to be a beloved relationship, and your ability to meet soul to soul, it's going to be a profound thing. Okay. Now it looks like a chicken right here. We have a chicken, and I keep looking at this as like a little leprechaun with a little hat, and it's sitting. So I almost feel like with the rooster we have right here, this sense of like an alarm going off. And I feel like, and then we have the leprechaun. So there is this sense of, yes, looking for that monetary payoff, right? That pot of gold. And now, as we've talked about, I really do feel like in your work life, it's coming through. Now, I feel that we know this is happening. There's an air of success and fortune here. But with that alarm, it's not only like, hey, wake up, this is happening. Make sure you don't miss it, right? There's a sense of reminding you, and, you know, no offense, Gemini, you all are very passionate people. You like what you like. And so when you have a little money, right, you maybe like to treat yourself a little bit. But I think that in this situation, there's this sense of like, okay, hey, you need to put some stuff away. You know, squirrel a little bit of this away. Make sure that you have a plan, a financial plan for this thing. You don't want to do well and then squander it. So definitely making sure that you are being thoughtful with these gifts that you are receiving, okay? Now, we also have a person on a boat here. You can see right here, they're standing, they have their leg kind of up. Here's the front of the boat. We have a bird kind of following behind, and kind of almost as it looks like a halo over the head, and a person holding it over it. So it's kind of an interesting, but I do feel like it is a sense of protection. We have a heart, so there is a sense of protection and love. There, you know, I feel like somebody, maybe a guardian angel, maybe a loved one who has departed already, they're watching over you. As you travel through kind of these, if you think of your body, right? Your mind, body, soul stacked upon each other. And you think of your body as having all of these like riverways where energy flows, right? And so at times when we have emotional blockages, spiritual blockages, they kind of build up in the different zones of our body, where all of these channels of energy kind of, meet and cross over and so on. So I feel like there's a sense of really doing some interior work to kind of release yourself of some of the things that you have not wanted to really work on or look at from the past. Okay, and I feel like mostly this is coping mechanisms. I feel like this probably has something to do with maybe like being reactionary, maybe, getting angry or impatient or, snappy and harsh words and that kind of thing. I feel there is really this sense of trying to look at, well, where does this come from and why does it keep coming up? Whenever something kind of starts to overwhelm you, good or bad, right? I've talked about, I'm in recovery, so for substance abuse. So I do 12-step and that kind of thing. And one thing you really, really talk about a lot is that we get in our emotions almost more when things are going well, because it's scary and you might worry this is unsustainable, or it could all fall apart, or I'm just gonna celebrate for a while and get all unhinged and stuff, and so you have to realize that even when things are going really well, this can be when you're most vulnerable, right? Because you're not paying attention to all the details. You're not necessarily in that kind of, you know, very focused state of mind. And things creep up on you. So, you know, during this period of gaining success and things going your way, you know, I also think that you are really working through some of these blockages that you have. And like I said, manifesting as coping mechanisms, reactions, emotions, you know, these kinds of things. So definitely worthwhile. I am a firm believer that when things are going good and you are feeling good, that is an awesome time to be working on things that might be difficult. I'm in recovery, and I am also, you know, I've been in therapy forever. I've had so many things going on in my life. Basically since I was 13, I've been in therapy, on and off, but mostly on, right? And that's, you know, it's not because I haven't like healed as a being, but I look at it as a wonderful tool that I've been very privileged to have access to. But you know, I feel that during these times, I don't want to go, when I'm feeling very depressed, I'm going through like a very depressive state. I'm barely able to take care of myself. It's hard to get out of bed, you know. It's just, when I'm in deep depression, I go through phases of agoraphobia. Not the traditional sense of it, but kind of a symptom, right? And of depression. And we'll stay in the house for like 4 months at a time. Now, this hasn't happened in some years. I mean, you know, like 10 years, maybe a little less than that, 8 years ago, maybe. But it does, you know, and at those times, I do not want to be excavating my past, the things that hurt. Nor do I really want to do it when I'm happy, when things are going pretty well in my life. But that is when I'm feeling fortified. You know, that is when I can look at things maybe a little more clearly. Maybe I can look at it and not absolutely fall apart in the moment. You know, I can do some productive processing and so on. So I do, when I see this, it makes sense to me. You know, you have this good stuff going on, feeling, you know, some accomplished and doing well, hopefully financially. And so, yeah, it would be a good time to be doing like, okay, now I'm going to work out some of this stuff, these behaviors, these reactions, coping mechanisms that I have not necessarily felt were of service to me. And so, yes, good on you for that, definitely. It's a good time to do it. I feel like we complete more when we're feeling up to even looking at this type of stuff. So, let's see. It looks like it says what? W-2. It looks like W-2. It is, well, I think, no, taxes already, that's all done. Or at least they'd be late now, I guess. So maybe it's hopefully not that. I don't know. We also have a sheep beneath the moon, and then we also have a fire going. So I do feel like there is a lunar aspect here. And I feel like maybe you've been having pretty decent sleep, which is not usual for you. I feel like you are somebody who maybe has insomnia or something like it, or you go through bouts of it. But this feels like it's a pretty decent period of sleeping, and it feels restful. But I think that you're having very vivid dreams, which kind of carries over into your waking life. And I think at times that starts to feel a little bit intense. I think it can almost, it makes the tone of the day. And so as I'm looking at this, there just seems to be almost a sense of just wishing that you wouldn't dream so heavily or so intensely. But I kind of almost challenge you to maybe look at it, look at some techniques for lucid dreaming. And the basics are: have the notebook, write down what you remember whenever you wake up, immediately do that. Having some consciousness and control in your dream spaces is such an amazing workspace for the interior work, for magic, for communing with other beings and ancestors and loved ones who have passed, and also, receiving information. I feel like a lot of spiritual downloads come from the dream realm. And so to practice having access to that in a way that is more conscious, and while having this really kind of vivid and potent dream period of time, this might be, very beneficial to you. So it's something to think about, okay? I think also if there is a sense of having bad dreams, or even at times like night terrors, that's something to talk about if you have a therapist or a counselor, of course, somebody to check in with. But I also, and this is a superstitious, not to replace any kind of mental health or psychology or any of that, because all of these things can coexist. I don't align myself with a lot of things, but I am definitely low-key very devoted to the Jungian school of thought. So all of these things can kind of really go together. But I do think that even if it is a placebo, or if it has really, some kind of energy and powers within your life, it is a good idea to maybe make some herb bundles that will promote the kind of safe passage that you are looking for in your dreams. You can look up, the meaning of different plants and herbs, and concoct yourself a bundle, which you would hopefully sew up or keep in a pouch. Put it in your pillow or beneath your mattress, and this will help you with your dreams. Or making a talisman or sigil. Excuse me, my goodness, I just almost coughed. It made my throat just, So anyways, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I've been outside, and listen, I found a beautiful elderberry bush, and I'm ecstatic about it. In the new place that we live. And I was just throwing caution to the wind, just going right through all the bushes and plants, and everything is budding and opening, and it is allergy HE double hockey sticks out there. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a cough from it. Thankfully was able to get my head clear a little bit before I started. But my goodness, it really hit me. I was out in the early evening, and by later evening I was just it took hold. So sorry about that. I just trying not to get myself coughing, because if you were listening to my readings a few months ago when we had the unnameable thing, you know, that thing that we all avoid, we avoid trying to get, you know, not get, we don't want it, right? We had that thing. And then that led into the flu and other respiratory stuff. And I was sick for, I feel like 2 months. It felt like on and off, just every other week I was sick with something. So I absolutely am trying not to cough at all. I'm not going to allow it. But anyways, let's get back to this. So I do sigils, talisman. Okay. You can look into how to make those. I don't want to explain it on here because I have my own ideas about it, but I'm also not very good at explaining the intricacies of. But there are a lot of very easy to follow step-by-step guides, especially how to make sigils. Okay, you can do, and I'll just do the basic one real quick, is that if you want to do like very easy kind of sigil, it is write out a sentence with your intentions and take the letters and form them into kind of a picture, an icon, or a sigil, right? And so, and then you can reduce it down to something, right? You don't have to use all of it, but you can reduce it down to a simpler form. That's a very basic way to do a sigil. But yeah, something like this. Also cleansing your sleep space, right? The thing that I like to talk about on here too is keeping your room organized, clean, as little in your room as possible. It's good for your sleep health, but also, you know, kind of sleeping among a lot of things is not, I feel like you draw in a lot of energies. And, you know, and a lot of clutter in a place where you're kind of, you know, going into another space, a subdimension or extra dimensional or whatever. You know, I would say the least amount of stuff around you is, there's a focus on sleep, basically, right? This restfulness, getting into a place where your mind can be a little quieted while you kind of transition over into sleep. And so, you know, doing a cleansing, organizing, literally cleaning, right? Getting fresh air in there, getting out all the stagnant energies, and you know, if you smoke or bells or sounds or frequencies or whatever it is that you use, definitely a good idea as well. Okay, so also we have a 30 here. So 30, the number 30. Okay, let's see. We have the Wild Bohemian Affirmation cards. These are the fire sign, fire element. And I'm going to go ahead and we will go right through and stop where it feels right. Okay, I think this is part of a necklace and kind of a headdress or earrings, or I don't know exactly, but it says, I am love. Stop overthinking and have unbound appreciation for every little detail of life. Every little detail of life. All right. I strive for this. Don't succeed very often, but I strive for it. I do. So anyways, Gemini, I love you. And I thank you for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Now, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I'm trying to catch up on answering them and hearting them and all that. I do read them as they come out, though, because I like to stay up with what's coming in. I don't always react to it immediately. It's been hectic over here. Getting everything kind of worked out, right? With the studio and moving and everything else. So we're getting there. And I appreciate your patience and, I had some technical difficulties today with my Libra reading, and we're just in a retrograde. I don't know which planets are in retrograde, but somebody out there is. So, it's probably something to do with that. I think it's Mercury is one of them. So, that might be the, the culprit. But anyways, I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night. Good night. Good night.